Guys, Tiana Hobson here with Meghan Markle and Sarah Rafferty from Suits. I love Suits. I'm a huge Donna and Rachel fan.
Thank you.
I want to talk to you guys about the fashion because you guys always look so sharp in every episode of Suits. What's it like getting to play dress up in this closet?
Oh, we are just the luckiest. It's like a Cinderella moment all the time because the designers we wear are amazing. Tom Ford skirts and gorgeous shoes, and I mean, truly, what paralegal would ever have a wardrobe like this? I don't know, but I'm lucky that I get to play Rachel and do it.
No, I mean, I do often think about, Harvey must really, really adequately compensate Donna for her efforts because she's just waltzing into the firm in Valentino and Roland Mouret and Victoria Beckham.
On a Tuesday.
You know, yeah, and with bags and all that kind of stuff. But I would say, it's actually kind of wrecked me. I mean,
in real life.
Yeah, what am I going to do? It's sweatpants or work. You know what I mean? You just have to completely drop out or go be on the show.
Yeah.
Are there any favorite pieces that you've maybe snuck off the set without anyone noticing?
I like to think of Rachel as a really good girlfriend whose closet you can borrow from sometimes. So, yes, there are a couple of really great pieces from Burberry that she has loaned me, which make their way back. And I also sort of love her wardrobe because it's lots of mix and matchable pieces, like a real woman's wardrobe.
Yeah, and I actually enjoy Donna's clothes because she's really a dress girl, and it's very feminine. You know, she's not a lawyer. She never has to wear a suit. She has a little bit of freedom and a little bit of more flirtatious kind of opportunity at the office.
And speaking of Donna, so last season we got to a little bit more of the backstory with you and Harvey. So, there's a lot of people who ship Harvey and Donna. Where do you stand on their relationship? Is it more than just friends?
Well, that's so interesting you should ask. It was so funny because Gabriel and I last season when we got the script where we found out that Harvey and Donna had actually done it in the past, we were both like, I was playing that they hadn't. What were you playing? I was playing that they hadn't. We were both like, oh, okay, well, now we play that they had. So I think, if I can speak from Donna's point of view, she thinks she's fine. She thinks she's good. She thinks there was that scene that they had in the past in the diner when he says, I don't want to find out who I would be without you, but she has a rule that she's never going to sleep with anybody she works with, which I think is a really important rule that she stick to. So
rules though, don't they?
And Donna kind of might have for a second this season, but so I think she's convinced herself that she is not into Harvey. She's telling herselse that.
All right.
It doesn't mean that's
It can't happen.
And also, hope if we're lucky enough to have a lot of seasons too. Who knows? We're starting our 4th season, so you think about if we do 7, if we are lucky enough to do 8, that's 8 years of someone's life, and what can change in that amount of time. As a fan, I would love to see Donna and Harvey together.
Glad I'm not the only one.
We have never discussed that.
I know.
That's so funny.
That's why I was like, what do you think? No, I would love to see them together.
And speaking of relationships, you and Mike hit a rough patch, and then you were fine, and then you hit another rough patch, and then you were fine. Now you're going to law school.
That's right.
So how is this going to affect the relationship now?
You know what? I think what's going to be so interesting about it is when you have a couple, any relationship in a bubble, it's fine. They have the law firm, they have their home life now. But I think that once you introduce a new place, like for Rachel, which will be making new friends, perhaps having new suitors, having all this new stimulus, it could very easily change the dynamic in their relationship yet again. But, these last 6 episodes that we have airing soon, I love because Rachel gets back to her business savvy as well. She means business. It's like she not only goes to Jessica's office often, she doesn't even knock. She just walks right in. So you see a stronger Rachel that I love.
And we saw a glimpse of her at the end of last season when she kind of demanded that Jessica, let her come back even though she didn't go to Harvard.
That's right. And she's like, and I'm not Robert Zane's daughter, I am Rachel Zane. And she really, it's amazing to watch that arc and to see how our writers, they make all of our female characters incredibly strong and layered. Yes, you can look sexy, you can rock a hot dress, you can do all of these things, but at the end of the day, these women are the voice of reason, and they mean business.
And they're incredibly capable.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So I asked Gabriel who he would like to play on Suits other than Harvey. He said Donna at first. Then he said British Harvey. So who would you guys like to play on the show other than your character?
Louis Litt.
Oh, gosh. It's the most interesting Who?
Norma.
Invisible Norma.
Invisible Norma.
That'd be a good one. Who would you want to play? I have to say, I do love sort of how maniacal Katrina Bennett is. I think it's a really great, strong character as well. But who wouldn't want to play Donna?
Yeah.
All the fun. You get all the fun, but at least I get to play with her, which is the best part. So we have a good time.
All right. So what exciting things can we expect for the back half of the season 3 right now?
Take it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, so Lewis Litt is on the trail of Mike's, lack of degree from Harvard. So, that's a major risk, and that really puts everybody at the firm in serious jeopardy. So, for my character, for Donna, she's going to be very busy protecting the home fires, and she'll have her hands full with that, and she'll be, sometimes successful, sometimes not. So we'll see.
and with Lewis on, the trail of Mike, who Rachel loves so much, is trying to build this life with, it definitely takes an effect on Rachel's relationship with Lewis. You're, of course, going to distance yourself from someone who's threatening your future in a way. But I think you get to see more of the Rachel-Donna relationship, which is always so fun. Obviously, the stakes are really high at the firm. And again, I mentioned Rachel is really getting ambitious with her career. So it's a heavy one. And I think by episodes 15 and 16, people are going to be shocked that our writers will be able to twist it yet again in a way that you just go,
I think when we received the scripts, we all were like, "What? Oh, what?"
right, calling each other like, "Do you? What? How did they?
I did not think that was gonna. Okay,
Right.
wow, people are gonna freak out. Oh, the Twitter feed.
I know. Oh, it's gonna be really
Well, I can't wait for episodes 15 and 16. Well, thank you both so much for being with us today. It was an honor. It was nice meeting you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.